Dum, dum, dum. It's just me forgetting to put it on loop. Usually I just keep it on this one. But today I forgot to put it on loop. So, yeah. Also, hi Earthling. Hi Fred. Hi Penguin. And hi Shika. Okay. Is that better? Fairly quiet. I'm at the normal level, but okay. Is this better? I can't actually turn it up more, to be honest. At least, I don't think I can. Maybe I can. Is this better? I'm gonna try some small modifications. Just tell me when it's good. Ooh, I hit something. Good. Yeah, we don't want that. But yeah, I unfortunately can't put the ad inside my starting up. So almost when I start streaming, the ads come. And it's like kind of annoying that I can't move the starting point of the ads. But yeah, that's just how it is. But how is everyone today? Okay, can you please tell me if the music is okay? But yeah. Ugh. If I forget things, it's because today have been a very tough day for me. So yeah. Just please remind me if there's something I'm timing my brain out of. Then I will be happy. Thank you, Sika. But yeah, I have some work to do next week, and we will see how that goes. I'm not quite sure yet what next week will give, but yeah, we will see what is gonna happen. Today is just relaxing and then just reset for a new week, just as usual. Yeah, exactly, I think. I just found out my glasses is extremely dirty. And I do not like that. There we go. But yeah. I need to remember how this is done. And my brain is not willing to. There we go. But yeah, we will see how today goes. And of course, next week I will hopefully have some new commands and some new redeems for all of you. I can hopefully do what I want. Hey, no. There's no Baby Bunny. No. That doesn't exist. Nope. Wrong. No, you haven't. You stop lying there. No, you won't. You won't post it. So yeah. But I hope everyone in here have been looking forward to today. And if you haven't, or if you aren't on the on track with the rest of the story, you can always go to the YouTube I have and just look at the prior streams, as I will upload all my streams up there, so you can always follow the story. So no worry if you can't get that one day out of the month or something. Everything you can get a carrot. That's what you can get. Nothing more than a carrot. Because a carrot is precious. But yeah, last time we got to page 43. Roasted carrot, we don't do that here. Better thing. And we don't have that much of pages left of this chapter. We have 11 pages left of this chapter. Last time we did, I think it was 15 pages. Yeah, 15 pages last time. So yeah, we will try to finish this chapter and maybe begin on the next one. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. and just have a relaxing, fun stream, just like we used to. But I will begin now. Oh, they may, in years to come. Frodo has read some already, as far as it has gone. You'll keep an eye on Frodo, won't you? Yes, I will. 2 eyes, as often as I can spare them. He would come with me, of course, if I asked him. In fact, he offered to once, just before the party. But he does not really want to yet. I want to see the wild country again before I die. And the mountains. But he is still in love with the Shire, with woods and fields and little rivers. He ought to be comfortable here. I am leaving everything to him, of course, except a few oddments. I hope he will be happy when he gets used to being on his own. It's time he was his own master now. Everything, said Gandalf. The ring as well? You agreed to that, you remember. Well, yes. I suppose so, stammered Bilbo. Where is it? In an envelope, if you must know, said Bilbo impatiently. There, on the mantelpiece. Well, no. Here it is, in my pocket. He hesitated. Isn't that odd? He said softly to himself. Yet after all, why not? Why shouldn't it stay there? Gandalf looked again very hard at Bilbo, and there was a gleam in his eyes. I think, Bilbo, he said quietly, I should leave it behind. Don't you want to? Well, yes and no. Now it comes to it, I don't like parting with it at all, I may say. And I don't really see why I should. Why do you want me to? He asked. And curious change came over his voice. It was sharp with suspicion and annoyance. You're always battering me about my ring. But you have never bothered me about the other thing that I got on my journey. No, but I had to badger you, said Gandalf. I wanted the truth. It was important. Magic rings are, well, magical. And they are rare and curious. I was professionally interested in your ring, you may say, and I still am. I should like to know where it is, if you go wandering again. Also, I think you have had it quite long enough. You won't need it anymore, Bilbo, unless I am quite mistaken. Bilbo flushed, and there was an angry light in his eyes. His fair, kindly face grew hard. Why not? He cried. And what business is it of yours, anyway? To know what I do with my own things. It is my own. I found it. It came to me. Yes, yes, said Gandalf. But there is no need to get angry. If I am, it is your fault, said Bilbo. It is mine, I tell you, my own, my precious. Yes, my precious. The wizard's face remained grave and attentive, and only a flicker in his deep eyes showed that he was startled and indeed alarmed. It has been called that before, he said, but not by you. But I say it now, and why not? even if Gollum said the same once. It is not his now, but mine. And I should keep it, I say. Gandalf stood up. He spoke sternly. You will be a fool if you do, Bilbo, he said. You make that clearer with every word you say. It has got far too much hold on you. Let it go. And then you can go yourself and be free. I'll do as I choose and go as I please, said Bilbo obstinately. Now, my dear hobbit, said Gandalf. All your long life we have been friends, and you owe me something. Come, do as you promised, give it up. Well, if you want my ring yourself, say so, cried Bilbo. But you won't get it. I won't give my precious away, I tell you. His hand strayed to the hilt of his small sword. Gandalf's eyes flashed. It will be my turn to get angry soon, he said. If you say that again, I shall. Then you will see Gandalf the Grey uncloaked. He took a step towards the hobbit and seemed to grow tall and menacing. His shadow filled the little room. Bilbo backed away to the wall, breathing hard, his hand clutching at his pocket. They stood for a while one another, and the air of the room tingled. Gandalf's eyes remained bent on the hobbit. Slowly his hands relaxed and began to tremble. I don't know what has become over you, Gandalf, he said. You have never been like this before. What is it all about? It is mine, isn't it? I found it, and Gollum would have killed me if I hadn't kept it. I'm not a thief, whatever he said. I have never called you one, Gandalf answered. And I'm not one either. I'm not trying to rob you, but to help you. I wish you would trust me as you used. He turned away, and the shadow passed. He seemed to dwindle down again to an old grey man, bent and troubled. Bilbo drew his hand over his eyes. I'm sorry, he said, but I felt so queer, and it would be a relief in a way not to be bothered with it anymore. It has been so growing on my mind lately. Sometimes I have felt it was like an eye looking at me, and I'm always wanting to put it on and disappear. Don't you know? Or wondering if it's safe, and pulling it out to make sure. I tried locking it up, but I found I couldn't rest without it in my pocket. I don't know why, and I don't seem able to make up my mind. Then trust mine, said Gandalf. It is quite made up. Go away and leave it behind. Stop possessing it. Give it to Frodo, and I will look after him. Bilbo stood for a moment, tense and undecided. Presently he sighed. All right, he said with an effort. I will. Then he shrugged his shoulders and smiled rather ruefully. After all, that's what this party business was all about, really. To give away lots of birthday presents, and somehow make it easier to give it away at the same time. It hasn't made it any easier in the end, but it would be a pity to waste all my preparations. It would be, would quite spoil the joke. Indeed it would take away the only point I ever saw in the affair, said Gandalf. Very well, said Bilbo. It goes to Frodo with all the rest. He drew a deep breath, and now I really must be starting, or somebody else will catch me. I have said goodbye, and I couldn't bear to do it all over again. He picked up his bag and moved to the door. You still got the ring in your pocket, said the wizard. Well, so I have, cried Bilbo. And my will, and all the other documents too. You had better take it and deliver it for me. That will be safest. No, don't give the ring to me, said Gandalf. Put it on the mantelpiece. It'll be safe enough there till Frodo comes. I shall wait for him. Bilbo took out the envelope, but just as he was about to set it by the clock, his hand jerked back and the packet fell on the floor. Before he could pick it up, the wizard stooped and seized it and set it in its place. A spasm of anger passed swiftly over the hobbit's face again. Suddenly it gave way to a look of relief and a laugh. Ah, Potita, have a good look. Well, that's that, he said. Now I'm off. They went out into the hall. Bilbo chose his favorite stick from the stand. Then he whistled. 3 dwarves came out of different rooms where they had been busy. Is everything ready? Asked Bilbo. Everything packed and labeled? Everything, they answered. Well, let's start then. He stepped out the front door. It was a fine night, and the black sky was studded with stars. He looked up, sniffing the air. What fun! What fun to be off again, off on the road with dwarfs. This is what I have really been longing for years. Goodbye, he said, looking at his old home and bowing to the door. Goodbye, Gandalf. Goodbye for the present, Bilbo. Take care of yourself. You're old enough and perhaps wise enough. Take care. I don't care. Don't you worry about me. I am as happy now as I have ever been. And that is saying a great deal. But the time has come. I am being swept off my feet at last, he added. And then in a low voice, as if to himself, he sang softly in the dark. The road goes on and on, down from the door where it began. Now far ahead the road has gone, and I must follow if I can, pursuing it with eager feet, until it joins some larger way, where many paths and errands meet, and whither I cannot say. And now we take a little break. Hi, Tommy. Nice to see you here. I seriously love that body. Boogie Bunny. I need a dancing bunny. I really need a dancing bunny. I can see that Stream Elements is a bitch. So yeah, let's see. It's this one. I don't like when they change things. It's annoying. Yeah, and I need a pet bunny, and somebody else said I needed something else. I think it was Miss Deathheart who said I needed something else. Yeah, now I know. Now I know. I am gonna show you in 2 seconds. If I can find the window capture there. Yeah, just make a new one. Discord. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I hope so. So yeah, this one. I need this one. Yeah, it's quite adorable. But we will see when I get them. Right now, I just want Potita to focus on her apprenticeship, so I won't annoy her. But we will see what will happen in the long run. Nobody knows, and nobody will ever know. There. But yeah, I need those 3. Because they're just cute. Really cute. I also saw somebody else have it. Because I showed it to Miss Deathheart and she said somebody else had it. Booty shaking bunny. Yeah. I can't remember how many animated slots I have, but I think I have 3. I'm not really sure. But the party mode definitely needs to be animated. And the dance one as well. But we will see when time comes. Ow. Because I don't think Potita will have time for it if she gets the... or sorry, when she gets the apprenticeship. Oh, nice. We can see. Emotes. I have 5 animated. I have 5 standard, and then I have 5 follower the free emotes. So we'll do this and we will do this. And then we will put it here. No, I don't need to do that. That one. There, follower. There we go. There we go. So yeah, and if you use their Twitch alerts, then you get 2 more. But yeah, we will see. Right now I just enjoy relaxing with all of you. Yeah, see you in a minute, Sika. It's fine. You didn't scare me, Earthling. You didn't scare me this time. Or last stream they used to do that, and they always scared me. So if you want, jump in and let's see who. Yeah. I use that emote quite a lot. At least I think I do, so yeah, we will see. So none of us actually hit. That game must be rigged. But yeah, thanks for joining in, everyone. I appreciate it. Hey, don't die. Dying is not allowed here. Except if it's dying by Danger Bonbon. Let's all give the Earthling a smug face. That is for trying to die in my chat. It's not allowed. We will stare at you. You might say, but are you sure? But yeah, let's continue to finish the first chapter, so we will actually get it done today. He paused, silent for a moment. Then without another word, he turned away from the light and the voices in the field and tent, and followed by his three companions, went round into his garden and trotted down the long sloping path. He jumped over a low place in the hedge at the bottom, and took to the meadows, passing into the night like a rustle of wind in the grass. Gandalf remained for a while staring after him into the darkness. "Goodbye, my dear Bilbo, until our next meeting," he said softly, and went back indoors. Frodo came in soon afterwards, and found him sitting in the dark, deep in thought. "Has he gone?" he asked. "Yes," answered Gandalf. "He has gone at last." I hoped until this evening that it was only a joke," said Frodo, "but I knew in my heart that he really meant to go. He always used to joke about serious things. I wish I had come back sooner, just to see him off." "I think he really preferred slipping off quietly in the end," said Gandalf. "Don't be too troubled. He'll be all right. Now, he left a packet for you. There it is." Frodo took the envelope from the mantelpiece and glanced at it, but did not open it. "You will find his will and all the other documents in there," I think, said the wizard. "You are the master of Baggin now. And also, I fancy you will find a golden ring." "The ring!" exclaimed Frodo. "Has he left me that? I wonder why. Still, it may be useful." "It may, and it may not," said Gandalf. "I should not make use of it, if I were you. But keep it secret and keep it safe. Now I am going to bed." Thank you for the shout out given to Potita. She deserves all the support. As master of Baggin, Frodo felt in his painful duty to say a goodbye to the guest. Rumors of strange events had by now spread all over the field, but Frodo would only say, "No doubt, everything will be cleared up in the morning." About midnight, carriages came for the important folk. One by one they rolled away, filled with full but very unsatisfied hobbits. Gardeners came by arrangement and removed in wheelbarrows those that had inadvertently remained behind. Night slowly passed. The sun rose. The hobbits rode rather later. Morning went on. People came and began by orders to clear away the pavilions and the tables and the chairs and the spoons and the knives and bottles and plates and the lanterns and the flowering shrubs in boxes and the crumbs and the cracker paper, the forgotten bags and gloves and handkerchiefs and the uneaten food, a very small item. Then a number of other people came, without orders. Bagginses and Boffins and Bulgars and Tooks and other guests that lived or were staying near. By midday, when even the best fed were out and about again, there was a large crowd at Baggin, uninvited but not unexpected. Frodo was waiting on the step, smiling, but looking rather tired and worried. He welcomed all the callers, but he had not more to say than before. His reply to all inquiries was simply this: Mr. Bilbo Baggins has gone away, as far as I know, for good. Some of the visitors he is invited to come inside, as Bilbo had left messages for them. Inside in the hall, there was piled a large assortment of packages and parcels and small articles of furniture. On every item there was a label tied. There were several labels of this sort, for Idelard took for his very own from Bilbo on an umbrella. Adelard had carried off many unlabeled ones. For Dora Baggins, in memory of a long correspondence with love from Bilbo, on a large wastepaper basket. Dora was Drogo's sister and the eldest surviving female relative of Bilbo and Frodo. She was 99 and had written realms of good advice for more than half a century. For Milo Burrows, hoping it would be useful, from BB, on a gold pen and ink bottle. Milo never answered letters. For Angelica's use, from Uncle Bilbo, on a round convex mirror. She was a young Baggins, and too obviously considered her shape facially. For the collection of Hugo Bracegirdle, from a contributor on an empty bookcase. Earthling, come on. Hugo was a great borrower of books, and worse than usually at returning them. For Lobelia Sackville Baggins, as a present, on a case of silver spoons, Bilbo believed that she had acquired a good many of his spoons while he was away on his former journey. Lobelia knew that quite well. When she arrived later in the day, she took the point at once, but she only took the spoons. This is only a small selection of the assembled presents. Bilbo's residence had got rather cluttered up with things in the course of his long life. It was a tendency of hobbit holes to get cluttered up, for which the custom of giving so many birthday presents was largely responsible. Not, of course, that the birthday presents were always new. There were one or two old mathams of forgotten uses that had circulated all around the district, but Bilbo had usually given new presents and kept those he received. The old hole was now being cleared a little. They meet a bunny. That's kind of funny. Also, welcome back, Sika. Didn't see that before now. Every one of the various parting gifts had labels, writing out personally by Bilbo, and several had point on some joke. But of course, most of the things were given where they would be wanted and welcome. The poorer hobbits, and especially those of Backshot Row, did very well. Old Gaffer Gamgee got 2 sacks of potatoes, a new spade, a woolen waistcoat, and a bottle of ointment for creaking joints. Old Rory Brandybuck, in return for much hospitality, got a dozen bottles of old vineyards. a strong red wine from the South Farthings, and now quite mature, as it had been laid down by Bilbo's father. Rory quite forgave Bilbo, and voted him a capital fellow after the first bottle. There was plenty of everything left for Frodo, and of course all the chief treasures, as well as the books, pictures, and more than enough furniture were left in his possession. There was, however, no sign or mention of money or jewelry. Not a penny piece or a glass bead were given away. Frodo had very trying time that afternoon. A false rumor that the whole household was being distributed free spread like wildfire, and before long the place was packed with people who had no business there, but could not be kept out. Labels got torn off and mixed, and quarrels broke out. Some people tried to do swaps and deals in the halls, and others tried to make off with minor items not addressed to them, or with anything that seemed unwanted or unwatched. The road to the gate was blocked with barrows and hand carts. Yeah, I don't know, Mr. Thard. You know where to start. And you even have the same time zone as me. Oh, what were you sketching? Have you tried setting an alarm at 7? Like only going off at Sunday? Maybe? Then there's no need for remembering, and you will still have 15 minutes to come in here before we start. Isn't that nice? 7 each day. Fuck. 7 each Sunday. Yeah, I know you do. But yeah, soon there will be a redeem for you to hear it. And there will also be a dance one. I know you do. In the middle of the commotion, the Sackville Bagginses arrived. Frodo had retired for a while and left his friend Merry Brandybuck to keep an eye on things. When Arthur loudly demanded to see Frodo, Merry bowed politely. "He is indisposed," he said. "He is resting." "Hiding, you mean," said Lobelia. "Anyway, we want to see him, and we mean to see him. Just go and tell him so." Merry left them a long while in the hall, and they had time to discover their parting gifts of spoons. It did not improve their tempers. Eventually they were shown into the study. Frodo was sitting at the table with a lot of papers in front of him. He looked indisposed to see Sackville Bagginses at any rate, and he stood up, fidgeting with something in his pocket. But he spoke quite politely. "Yeah, and it was silver spoons." "Yay! Spoons!" The Sackville Bagginses were rather offensive. They began by offering offering him bad bargain prices as between friends for various valuable and unlabeled things. When Frodo replied that only the things specifically directed by Bilbo were being given away, they said the whole affair was very fishy. Well, Mr. Thard, I can tell you one thing. If you draw it, then I will upload it as a follower emote. Only one thing is clear to me, said Otho. That is that you are doing exceedingly well out of it. Well, that is your choice. You are designing the spoon. Your choice what it's gonna look like and what it's gonna say. Just make it fit like the theme in here. I insist on seeing the will. Otto would have been Bilbo's heir, but for the adoption of Frodo. He read the will carefully and snorted. It was unfortunately very clear and correct. According to the legal custom of hobbits, which demanded, among other things, 7 signatures of witnesses in red ink. Fool filed again, he said to his wife. And after waiting 60 years, spoons? Fiddlesticks! He snapped his fingers under Frodo's nose and stumped off. Oh my god, I would have stabbed him if he did that. Well, you guys can debate that, and I will continue reading. But in the end, it's Miss Deathheart who would take the choice. But Lobelia was not so easily got rid of. A little later, Frodo came out of the study to see how things were going on, and found her still about the place, investigating nooks and corners, and tapping the floors. He escorted her firmly off the premises. After he had relieved her of several small but rather valuable articles that had somehow fallen inside of her umbrella. Well, your choice. And your drawing. I don't care. It's not gonna be there if you're not gonna draw it. So still your choice. Her face looked as if she was in the throes of thinking out a really crushing parting remark. But all she found to say, turning round on the step, was, "You will live to regret it, young fellow. Why didn't you go too? You don't belong here. You are no Baggins. You are a brandy buck." Did you hear that, Mary? That was an insult, if you like, said Frodo as he shut the door on her. It was a compliment, said Mary Brandybuck. And so, of course, not true. Then they went round the hall and evicted 3 young hobbits, 2 boffins and a bolgar, who were knocking holes in the wall of one of the cellars. Frodo also had a tussle with young Sancho Proudfoot, old Odo Proudfoot's grandson, who had begun an excavation in the larger pantry, where he thought there was an echo. The legend of Bilbo's gold excited both curiosity and hope. The legend of Bilbo's gold excited and hope for legendary gold, mysteriously obtained, if not positively ill-gotten. is, as everyone knows, anyone's for the finding, unless the search is interrupted. When he had overcome Sancho and pushed him out, Frodo collapsed on a chair in the hall. "It's time to close the shop, Merry," he said. "Lock the door and don't open it to anyone today. Not even if they bring a battering ram." Then he went to revive himself with a belated cup of tea. He had hardly sat down when there came a soft knock at the front door. Lobelia again, most likely, he thought. She must have thought of something really nasty and have come back to say it can wait. He went on with his tea. The knock was repeated, much louder, but he took no notice. Suddenly the wizard's head appeared at the window. "If you don't let me in, Frodo, I shall blow your door right down your hole and out through the hill," he said. "My dear Gandalf, half a minute," cried Frodo, running out of the room to the door. Come in, come in." "I thought it was Lobelia." "Then I forgive you. But I saw her some time ago, driving a pony trap towards Bywater, with a face that would have curdled new milk." That's kind of nice. "She had already curdled me. Honestly, I nearly tried on Bilbo's ring. I long to disappear." "Don't do that," said Gandalf, sitting down. "Do be careful of that ring, Frodo. In fact, it is partly about that I have come to say a last word." "Well, what about it?" "What do you know already?" "Only what Bilbo told me. I have heard his story, how he found it, and how he used it. On his journey, I mean." "Which story, I wonder?" said Gandalf. "Oh, not the one he told the dwarves and put in his book," said Frodo. "He told me the true story soon after I came to live here. He said you had pestered him until he told you, so I had better to know." "No secrets between us, Frodo," he said. "But there are not to go any further. It's mine anyways." "That's interesting," said Gandalf. "Well, what did you think of it all?" "If you mean inventing all about a present, well, I thought the true story much more likely, and I couldn't see the point of altering it at all. It was very unlike Bilbo to do so anyway, and I thought it rather odd." "So did I. But odd things may happen to people that have such treasure, if they use them. Let it be a warning to you, to be very careful with it. It may have other powers than just making you vanish when you wish to." "I don't understand," said Frodo. "Neither do I," answered the wizard. "I have merely begun to wonder about the ring, especially since last night. No need to worry, but if you take my advice, you will use it very seldom or not at all. At least I beg you not to use it in any way that will cause talk or rouse suspicion. I say again, keep it safe and keep it secret." "You are very mysterious. What are you afraid of?" "I am not certain, so I will say no more." Ew, that was nasty. I hate sneezing. The German talks English, and the English talks German. That's kind of funny. Thank you. I may be able to tell you something when I come back. I'm going off at once, so this is goodbye for the present. He got up. At once, cried Frodo. Why, I thought you were staying on for at least a week. I was looking forward to your help. I didn't mean to, but I have had to change my mind. I may be away for a good while, but I will come and see you again as soon as I can. Expect me when you see me. I should slip in quietly. That's what he said. I shan't often be visiting the Shire openly again. What the fuck? Can somebody... Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna ban Stream Element soon. Yeah, that is something I need to see. Spam filters. It don't even have email protection on. What the fuck? That needs to go. That needs to go. Fuck that, you guys can work. Yeah, exactly. Well, all filters are gone now. You have ads now? Okay. You did absolutely nothing wrong. It was just Stream Elements having a fit. I was equally surprised. Okay. Stream Elements just timed out Miss Deathheart for like 5 minutes for posting 3 emotes and 2 symbols. Like, what the fuck? Oh, nice. And in Danish, we are quite fucked up, so we just say prosit. Like this. Yeah, apparently. But yeah. Hopefully soon I'm getting rid of Stream Elements for everything else than my alerts. Well, many people like say it after the first, and if you sneeze again, they're gonna wait for you to finish. It's kind of funny. Like, and then afterwards, just say, "Are you done?" Almost. But I learned from Chairbear today that apparently 8 sneezes is the same as an orgasm. So I almost had half an orgasm right there. That's kind of fucked up. Yeah. I didn't see that one coming. I didn't think of those words. I think it's the same amount of energy you use. Well, pleasure is a very, very, very hard thing to, yeah, very hard thing to measure. Calories is not. And yeah, Cherberry is like, I was like, what the fuck? Sometimes she, yeah. It's kind of fun. But Earthling and Sika, I think I need some help during the next week to actually get some commands made for mix it up, because my brain is just like fucking jelly at the moment. But I think the hot command works on stream elements now. Hopefully. Sniff? Well, I think you should just be happy that I haven't thumped at you. Yeah. This book actually smells pretty good. But I love the smell of gunpowder and explosives even more. Oh fucking god. I knew that would be brought up when I said the command thing. No, a thump, not a stomp. A thump. Thomp. Bunnies thump and humans stomp. Not thong. Exactly, Earthling. Yeah, I know, Sika. No, we don't need thong as a command. What would that even say? Yeah, we need that. We definitely need a bong command to me. That could be quite fun. Yeah. I didn't, to be honest, I didn't even like think about it twice. I didn't even think about it before it was out my mouth. Yeah, I do. I'm gonna finish this chapter now. Thank you, Toby. Love you too. I find that I have become rather unpopular. They say I'm a nuisance and a disturber of peace. Some people are actually accusing me of spiriting Bilbo away, or worse. If you want to know, there's supposed to be a plot between you and me to get hold of his wealth. Some people, explained Frodo. You mean Otho and Lobelia? How abominable. I would give them Baggend and everything else if I could. If I could get Bilbo back and go off tramping in the country with him. I love the Shire, but I begin to wish somehow that I have gone too. Yay! It worked! I wonder if I shall ever see him again. So do I, said Gandalf. And I wondered many other things. Goodbye now. Take care of yourself. Look out for me, especially at unlikely times. Goodbye. Wow, that sounds like a stalker reply. Look out for me, especially at unlikely times. Ew. Creepy. Frodo saw him to the door. He gave a final wave of his hand and walked off at a surprising pace. But Frodo thought the old wizard looked unusually bent, almost as if he was carrying a great weight. The evening was closing in, and his cloaked figure quickly vanished into the twilight. Frodo did not see him again for a long time. Yeah, exactly. A fucking creep. Just you. But yeah, that was a quite nasty comment. Expect me at unlikely times. You nasty. You. I need to see here. Okay. No, then what? Huh? With that one. Sorry, I didn't see it. I was reading. Or it could be like when someone in the book says something really really creepy. And then just a counter of how many creepy things Tolkien have put into the book. But yeah, if you have any suggestions for command, Sika, can you and Sika and Earthling, sorry, can you two like take the commands and then write them down, or just one of you or something, and then we can see on what we want to add. Because I have completely lost my overview of what commands have been suggested. Thank you, Earthling. But yeah, I'm happy that the hug command actually works. I don't have a pad command to me, unfortunately, not yet. But yeah, no worries, Sika. I don't have any clue as well at the moment. Oh. Thank you, Fred, for the stretch and the hydrate. Oh. Oh, that I felt that all the way down through my arms. You. Yeah, I appreciate that. Okay, I will hydrate again, Earthling. I check my posture, and it's shit. Was that all you wanted to know, Earthling? I've seriously waited to do that. So I can see we can start at the next chapter today. And just as usual, guys, can you remind me at 150? Chapter 2. The Shadow of the Past. The talk did not die down in 9 or even 99 days. The second disappearance of Mr. Bilbo Baggins was discussed in Hobbiton and indeed all over the Shire for a year and a day, and was remembered much longer than that. It became a fireside story for young hobbits, and eventually Mad Baggins, who used to vanish with a bang and a flash and reappeared with bags of jewels and gold, became a favorite character of legend and lived long after all the true events were forgotten. Okay, I don't know if you could hear the sounds from Fox System Sounds. Discord there. But in the meantime, the general opinion in the neighborhood was that Bilbo, who had always been rather cracked, had at last gone quite mad and had to run off into the blue. There he had undoubtedly fallen into a pool or a river and come to a tragic but hardly an untimely end. The blame was mostly laid on Gandalf. If only that dreaded wizard will leave young Frodo alone. Perhaps he'll settle down and grow some hobbit sense, they said. And to all appearance, the wizard did leave Frodo alone, and he did settle down, but the growth of hobbit sense was not very noticeable. Indeed, he at once began to carry on Bilbo's reputations for oddity. He refused to go into mourning, and the next year he gave a party in honor of Bilbo's 112th birthday, which he called a 100-weight feast. But that was short of the mark, for 20 guests were invited, and there were several meals at which it snowed food and rained drink, as hobbits say. Some people were rather shocked, but Frodo kept up the custom of giving Bilbo's birthday party year after year until they got used to it. He said that he did not think Bilbo was dead. When they asked, "Where is he then?" he shrugged his shoulder. There's a lot more, guys. Just so you know. He lived alone, as Bilbo had done, but he had a good many friends, especially among the younger hobbits, mostly descendants of the old Took, who had as children been fond of Bilbo, and often in and out of Baggend. Folker Boffin and Fredera Bolgor were two of these. But his closest friends were Peregrine Took, usually called Pippin, and Merry Brandybuck. His real name was Meriadoc, but that was seldom remembered. Frodo went tramping over the Shire with them, but more often he wandered by himself, and to the amazement of sensible folk, he was sometimes seen far from home, walking in the hills and woods under the starlight. Merry and Pippin suspected that he visited the elves at times, as Bilbo had done. Yeah, Pippin! Woohoo! No, guys, if you go, if you can either make a Google document or go into my server, and then I will give you the rights as mods. Yeah. I'll just send the link inside of our chat. Roles. It is quite a name. But I can see the CK is already in there. So can you just write in chat when you are in there, everything? As time went on, people began to notice that Frodo also showed signs of good preservation. Outwardly he retained the appearance of a robust and energetic hobbit, just out of his tweens. Some folk have all the luck, they said, but it was not until Frodo approached the usually more sober age of 50 that they began to think it queer. Frodo himself, after the first shock, found that being his own master and the Mr. Baggins of Baggend was rather pleasant. For some years he was quite happy and did not worry much about the future. But half unknown to himself, he regretted that he had not gone with Bilbo was steadily going. He found himself wondering at times, especially in the autumn, about the wildlands and strange visions of mountains that he had never seen came into his dreams. He began to say to himself, perhaps I shall cross the river myself one day, to which the other half of his mind always replied, not yet. Yeah, 2 seconds. There. There. Hi, Mike. It's nice to see you in here. Earthling and Sicarius. There. Holy shit. Thank you, Mike. There you go. I have made a channel where you can go in and put things in. There we go. There. So it went on until his 40s were running out and his 50th birthday was drawing near. 50 was a number that he felt was somehow significant or ominous. It was at any rate that age that adventure had suddenly befallen Bilbo. Frodo began to feel restless, and the old paths seemed too well trodden. He looked at maps and wondered what lay beyond their edges. Maps made in the Shire showed mostly white spaces beyond its borders. He took to wandering further afield and more often by himself, and Merry and his other friends watched him anxiously. Often he was seen walking and talking with the strange wayfarers that began at this time to appear in the Shire. There were rumors of strange things happening in the world of sight, and as Gandalf had not at that time appeared or sent any messages for several years, Frodo gathered all the news he could Elves who were seldom walked in the Shire could now be seen passing westward through the woods in the evening, passing and not returning. But they were leaving Middle-earth, and were no longer concerned with its troubles. There were, however, dwarfs on the road in unusual numbers. The ancient east-west road ran through the Shire to its end at the Grey Havens, and dwarfs had always used it on their ways to the mines of the Blue Mountains. They were the hobbits' chief source of news from distant parts, if they wanted any. As a rule, dwarfs said little, and hobbits asked no more. But now Frodo often met strange dwarfs of far countries, seeking refuge in the west. They were troubled, and some spoke in whispers of the enemy and of the land of Mordor. That name the hobbits only knew in legends of the dark past, like a shadow in the background of their memories. But it was ominous and disquieting. It seemed that the evil power in Mirkwood had been driven out by the White Council, only to reappear in greater strength in the old strongholds of Mordor. The Dark Tower had been rebuilt, it was said. From there the power was spreading far and wide. And away far east and south there were wars and growing fear. Orcs were multiplying again in the mountains. Trolls were abroad, no longer dull-witted, but cunning and armed with dreadful weapons. And there were murmured hints of creatures more terrible than all of these, but they had no name. Little of all of this, of course, reached the ears of ordinary hobbits, but even the deafest and most stay-at-home began to hear queer tales, and those whose businesses took them to the border saw strange things. The conversation in the Green Dragon at Bywater. One evening, the spring of Frodo's 50th year showed that even in the comfortable heart of the Shire had been heard rumors. Though most hobbits still laughed at them. Sam Gamgee was sitting in one corner near the fire, and opposite him was Ted Sandyman, the miller's son. And there were various other rustic hobbits listening to the talk. Queer things you do hear these days, to be sure, said Sam. Ah, said Ted, you do if you listen. But I can hear fireside tales and children's stories at home if I want to. No doubt you can, retorted Sam. And I dare say there's more truth in some of them than you reckon. Who invented the stories anyway? Take dragons now. No, thank you, said Ted. I won't. I heard tell of them when I was younger. But there's no call to believe in them now. There's only one dragon in Bywater, and that's green, he said, getting a general laugh. All right, said Sam, laughing with the rest. But what about these treemen, these giants, as you might call them? They do say that one bigger than a tree was seen up away beyond the North Moors not long back. Who's they? My cousin Hal, for one. He works for Mr. Buffin at Overhill and goes up to the North Farthing for hunting. He saw one. Says he did, perhaps. Your Hal's always saying he's seen things. And maybe he sees things that aren't there. But this one was as big as an elm tree, and walking 7 yards to a stride, if it was an inch. Then I bet it wasn't an inch. What he saw was an elm tree. Thank you, Earthling. As like as not. But this one was walking, I tell you. And there ain't no elm tree in the North Moors. Then Hal can't have seen one, said Ted. There was some laughing and clapping. The audience seemed to think that Ted had scored a point. All the same, said Sam, you can't deny that others beside our Halfast had seen queer folk crossing the Shire. Crossing it, mind you. There are more that are turned back at the borders. The bounders have never been so busy before, and I've heard tell that the elves are moving west. They do say that they are going to the harbors, out away beyond the white towers. Sam waved his arm vaguely. Neither he nor any of them knew how far it was to the sea. Past the old towers beyond the western borders of the Shire. But it was an old tradition that away over there stood the Grey Havens, from which at times elven ships set sails, never to return. They are sailing over the sea. They are going to the west and leaving us, said Sam, half chanting the words, shaking his head sadly and solemnly. But Ted laughs. Well, that isn't anything new, if you believe the old tales. And I don't see what it matters to me or you. Let them sail. But I warned you, you haven't seen them doing it, nor anyone else in the Shire. Well, I don't know, said Sam thoughtfully. He believed he had once seen an elf in the woods, and still hoped to see more one day. Of all the legends that he had heard in his early years, such fragments of tales and half-remembered stories about the elves as the hobbits knew, had always moved him most deeply. There are some, even in these parts, as know the fair folk and gets news from them, he said. There's Mr. Baggins now that I work for. He told me that they were sailing, and he knows a bit about elves. And old Mr. Bilbo knew more. Many's the talk I had with him when I was a little lad. Oh, they both cracked, said Ted. Leastways old Bilbo's cracked, and Frodo's cracking. If that's where you get your news from, you'll never want for moonshine. Well, friends, I'm off home. Your good health. He drained his mug and went out noisily. And that will be the last page for today, or for this stream. I will, of course, upload everything to... It's not dwarves, it's hobbits. And they brew it themselves. But that will be the last thing of today. And I hope to see you all next Sunday to another, what I call reset of the a reset of the week. We always begin at the same time, and we go for around 2 hours. Yeah, you too, Mr. Thor. And I will all have my YouTube my YouTube video up in a day or two. Me? I don't know actually. I can send you a picture afterwards. Then you can tell me. But yeah, I don't have such amazing eyes, and Toomey have. That's not even near possible. I can't fucking remember this shit. Content, not that one. Settings, channel. I can't remember this shit. I did it earlier now, and now I can't fucking find it. There we go. Now I found it. But yeah, here you can always go if you have missed a stream or if you have missed part of the stream. You will always be able to see the videos there after a while or after a couple of days, as I will begin to upload them either today or tomorrow. But yeah, now we need to see where we will go today. Do anyone have any suggestions? Good night, Earthling, and thank you for being here today. I have not been very many places, so if you have any suggestions, please give me some. You are very welcome, Mr. Third. I really appreciate you all be here. Let's see here. I'm now trying to make a little raid message. Here you go, everyone. You can copy and paste this where we go. So, artist explores the world. Let me see. Well, I can see a couple of friends is in there, so I think we will go there today. And everyone, remember to copy and paste the raid message, and give this person, the artist explores the world, a great hello from our little society. So we will go now, and we will have a nice, very nice day for the rest of the day, and I will see you all hopefully at Sunday next week at 7 p.m. GMT +1. Have a lovely week.